So I have an envelope here that simply says the Holy Spirit. To be baptized was coming from the Greek term baptizo, which was to immerse, to lower. I've said this many times in baptism events, that word was a cloth maker's term, to dip or submerge something and it comes up differently. If it was white cloth and it went into red dye, it would come out red. It's the picture of being buried into the death of Christ and raised to the life of his resurrection. And he says, you're going to be enveloped by the Holy Spirit. Now, inside of this envelope, you would also have this, you would have you. And not just you individually and specifically, but you would have all of you. So he's speaking to the disciples and saying, you individually and you collectively, you are going to be enveloped by the Holy Spirit. To be baptized into the Holy Spirit was going to be covered, that he is going to envelop you. And he's saying that this is going to be a gift to you, a power to you for what is ahead. Now, if we continue in the same chapter, then it goes on and says in verse 6, so when they met together, they asked him, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom of Israel?
Come alive, wake up, sleeper, he is risen, we are risen with him.
He said to them, it's not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. After he said this, he was taken up before their very eyes, and a cloud hid him from their sight. Now, we've talked about the progression of evangelism. We see it in the book of Acts going from Jerusalem up to Antioch, past Samaria, and then to the other ends of the earth. We won't unpack any more of that, but that's that first section. But he said, you've heard me talk about this before. So where was that? That's our second section, and that would be found in John chapter 14. He probably talked to them more than that, but we definitely have on record that he talks to them in John chapter 14. And John chapter 14 is happening in the final days of his life. If you had John chapter 14, 15, 16, and 17, that's happening within one day's time, and it is right before he is going to be betrayed, and he is giving them final instructions. And he says, if you love me, you'll obey what I command. And I will ask the Father, and he'll give you another counselor or comforter. It was the Greek word parakletos, to be alongside of you. He'll be alongside of you, to be with you forever. The Spirit of truth, the world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him. Pause. Like the world that we live in functions in what they feel is tangible. If I can't see it, then I can't believe it. If I can't touch it, then I can't trust it. And he's saying the Holy Spirit's not tangible in that regard. But I'm going to give you the Holy Spirit. He's going to envelop you, but he's also going to hear. He's going to be in you. He says here, but you know him, for he lives with you and will be in you. So pause. So let's talk about another envelope. So he says he's going to be in you, and you're going to have the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit not only is going to envelop you, you're going to be in the Holy Spirit, but in your individual life and in your heart and in your walking with God, you are going to be able to know that he is inside of you. So that as you journey with him and you read the word or you go wherever he leads, you will know it's not lip service for you to say that he is Emmanuel, God with us. Because he resides within. I reside within the power and the covering of the Holy Spirit, but he also lives within me. And he continues on here in chapter 14, and he says, but the Counselor, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I've said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you, I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Before we leave this screen, you see the word teach, and it's didasko. And didasko was the kind of term that would be used to impart difficult things. You would be instilling some form of doctrine or instructions that had to be carried out. Didasco was something that was very important.
If you see what I see, that the grave is empty, then you know what I know. Anything is possible. If you see what I see, that the grave is empty, then you know what I know. Anything is possible.
Hi. Suicide rates are rising rapidly, so most Jesus followers should prepare ourselves for a more active role in preventing suicides. We are on the front line since pros rarely get involved until a foot soldier helps connect people in crisis with trained professionals. E94.org is a Christian ministry dedicated to equipping the church to prevent suicide through free training of foot soldiers to prevent suicide through training, consulting, and resources. Get equipped to give hope and help and confidently refer people to professional counselors. Learn more at e94.org. Thank you.